We're back with some more openings. Yeah, felt like I opened BT23 not too long ago, but we got this newest limited card pack, also known as the LM06 set, Billion Bullet. And yeah, some reprints in here that we get to check out. I'm really looking forward to see what they look like, as well as some alt arts and some new staples that you guys might be wanting to grab for yourself, just to, you know, have on the side, because you never know what certain decks can make use of them. But we'll get into it once we open this up. Let's check this out and see how do we actually... how do we... Oh, okay, we got it. There should be a section right here. Okay, we got it, yeah. So, this is a box. It comes with 6 packs. So, let's crack open these and check out some of the reprints here. Okay, so first and foremost, we got the EX4 Sunomon. Okay, this one I'm not too sure. We got the BT3 Zubamon. Okay, rather old cards. And then we got Hero. I think this is a good reprint, especially if you guys are Gamamon enjoyers, but I feel like, you know, just because this was in the RBO1 set, it wasn't as easy to get, and yeah, I think Gamamon is a decent spot right now, so you want to grab that too. We got the Koalomon or Cielomon. This one was from a tournament pack. Felt like a little while ago, which you would play for Deep Savers. We got Bishop Device. This was also from a tournament pack that felt like it's either like almost a whole year or like at least half a year ago, I think. Dokugumon. Ooh, and already right off the bat, we got this Buzamon Blast Mode Ace. Man, this art looks super sick. I like this art. Definitely going to be adding it to my collection. I would say, like, this is still a decent card to include in the Buzamon decks if you want to play it like around a 1-of. Although the one from the Advanced Star deck is still the better one, just because it's like you're finishing like top end to help you win games. So we got Navy Memory Boost. These are the new Memory Boost cards that I'm going to talk about quite a bit, just because these are important staples that you probably want to be including in your deck. This one specifically helps you look for purple and blue cards. I can't really think of any decks on top of my head at the moment. But yeah, you guys let me know in the comments down below on what. I probably just, I can't think of it on this moment. We got Vermilion Memory Boost, which is for both yellow and red. Ideally really good for the Sylphimon DNA deck if you play that. You know, we can see both like Hawkmon and Godomon on there, so... And then we got... Okay, I can't pronounce that word. But we'll call it the yellow and green Memory Boost. We can see Liomon and Falcomon. This one's clearly for XL. Yeah, I think this one helps XL a lot. You know, definitely accelerates their consistency. So these are really important, like dual color kind of like staple cards, the dual color searches that you want to make sure that you have access to probably at least a playset. We got this BT3 Ludomon, All-Force Veedramon, which is not too bad in a way. I feel like it's still relatively easy to find, but you know, just having this new art with a little bit of like a blue consistency border looks pretty similar to the old one, I'd say. You know, the only difference is like a silver border from the original art. It would have been really nice if we got like some All-Force reprints specifically for the deck, maybe in this set as well. So, but we'll get to it once we get into it. We got this Matt Ishida from SC16, so don't be confused that this one is not the one that is banned. The one that is banned is from BT 1, 2, or 3. I can't remember exactly which set, but it's the older one. This is from the starter deck one, where you get to gain a memory if you toss away a card, and that's all turns. I play this card in my Virus Imperial deck, so this is going to be somewhat useful. We got Bishop Device, Shaomon, another tournament card that we got. Landramon, you know, for those who are looking for rocks, I think this one's definitely a nice little upgrade there. Vermilion Memory Boost once again. Chrome Memory Boost, which is for green and black. Mainly I can really think of right now would be like Royal Base that kind of plays both green and black, but you don't really need to use this for that particular deck because everything is green by default. Probably Tyrannomon, if you're playing like sort of like the green base with some black cards, perhaps. We'll see in a bit. This Destromon is definitely a good reprint just because there has been a lot of hype with the Venmon and the Galacticmon deck back then in BT21. and this is a very important card to include, and this is a very old promo too. So I think this is a good reprint. The Galacticmon deck isn't as popular as it was, but I would say because of just how the Liberator and the webcomic is like going on, maybe perhaps expect that there will be some form of support in the future, that this card probably might spike up once again. So yeah. Deathclaw, another starter deck card. Not played as much because I feel like the self-deletion spells or the self-deletion option cards are normally used right now would be Calling from Darkness as well as Demonic Disaster. So I don't see people use this as much anymore, but it kind of looks kind of cool. So yeah, let's keep going. Ludomon once again. We got Gospel of the Fallen Angel. I think this is a somewhat okay card in Lucemon, but I feel like not all Lucemon decks necessarily need to play this as well. Salamon from BT16. Okay, you can actually play this in the Virus Imperial deck. You might play it in Mastermon. Shushumon. This one is definitely a really important one in the Liberator deck if you're playing Kaguya, just because this helps you enable your combos alongside with Karakuru. Playing out that token is really, really good. Shalmon, Galemon. Yeah, we can always expect that we're going to be getting new Zafago support in the future. For sure, it's the main character. And for those who were never able to participate in those local tournaments, these are like pretty nice cards that you can get access into. We got the BT16 Ukomon with the alt art. This is definitely a good reprint. Really strong staple card. Very splashable in so many decks. Being able to find any pieces that you need and everything. And Hatch and Egg just gives you so much momentum. So I'm glad that this card got reprinted. Like, looks pretty good. We got Midnight Memory Boost, specifically for blue and black decks. Looks like from the artwork, it's mainly for like Grey Knightsmon. If you're playing like Grey Knightsmon with like a bit of like Blue Flare and a bit of like the Dark Knight Twilight stuff. I can't really think of much usage of this particular card at the moment either. So you guys gotta let me know in the comments because yeah, I can't remember. But this one we have right here, Magenta Memory Boost. This one I definitely want to talk quite a bit about just because it's both red and purple, and this benefits a lot of decks that I know of currently. First and foremost, seeing that Shadramon and the Flamedramon in the background means it's going to be supporting Virus Imperial, so I probably would be adding this into my deck just because it can help me search out my VMons along with like my other red cards that I'm playing mainly. I think it will mainly be like the VMons and then the Flamedramons from EX3 as well as XVmon in particular, the red one as well. So this is going to be helpful so you can get those search targets. But yeah, I got to test it out and see how many copies I would really run in this particular deck. But at the same time, I generally prefer like prioritizing Mist Memory Boost anyways, just because trashing is actually way more important in my opinion to help you get there. But yeah, this is definitely a card I'm looking forward to. Aside from that, there's definitely like Gallantmon that can really utilize this, just because there's a lot of purple and red synergy within the whole line as well. If you're ever looking to play the purple base of Gallant, you might sometimes play the top end red stuff as well together with it. So, this allows you to search for that card as well, which is pretty important, I'd say. Purple Hybrid as well. Purple Hybrid is like a purple base deck, and you sometimes do play, or before you would play like the Gallant or the promo Gallants, so you can hard drop them for free. So those are red cards. This allows you to search and grab those cards. So yeah. Definitely that one, I know my stuff for that one. For the rest of the decks, I just can't think of it too much. Here we got Buildamon X Antibody. Certainly a good card as well, back from BT12. It's a pretty important staple card to be playing. You definitely want to be running this at least a 2 of. Having access to this card is also part of your game winning condition for Buildamon specifically, which you definitely want to have. We got Close right here. This one is also would be played in the Rock's Pyramidimon with Magnetramon deck, depending on how many you want to juggle in your ratios with this particular card, just because I feel like the Memory Setter Close is still better. The newer Close from EX10 is also pretty decent, so you have a lot of options. But, seeing this in black border is really cool. Once again, with the Memory Boosts. And then we got a Tyrannomon X Antibody, which I felt like we got this for somewhat recent as well. And we got the Taomon, which is for Sakuyamon deck, which did get hit heavily on the banned and restricted list. But this is still a very important Taomon to be playing from the BT17 set. Wonder how that would kind of change with the advanced deck set of Sakuyamon, the Amethyst Mandala. So, perhaps you still might play this card. Maybe you don't. But either way, this is not too bad of a reprint. It's a good card for sure. But at the same time, it's really just a common, so I don't really I'm not really entirely sure if it really needed that foil upgrade. We got Yaoxing Lan right here for the Arimon deck, Ryugu, and all that kind of stuff. Oh, and then now we got the promo Flamedramon. Definitely a reprint that needed. I remember this card being very pricey when BT17 came out just because of the promo box toppers. Magnamon X was definitely a very like strong meta contender during that time. Now I think Magna X has fallen off quite a little bit, especially in the competitive scene. Whoever is wondering, like if you're playing Magna X, I feel like you don't really play this card as much anymore anyways. That's because I feel like most players are steering just to play a full Magna package, especially alongside with the new BT23 Magna. You know, we have a lot of different regular Magnamons that we can work with instead of this particular Flamedramon. But I would say though, it would have been really nice if all of those other BT17 box topper promo cards were included in this LM set as well. Mega Kabuterimon, Promo Vijamon, these are like the two top ones I can think of on top of my head. And I feel like, yeah, it would have been really nice if they included those two in this set, generally just speaking. So yeah, that wraps up for this particular pack. This set is rather small. There's not a lot of cards that you would expect to see, just because I feel like, you know, all of these cards we already opened, we talked about already. So that's basically just the one first box. But I always do recommend getting a second one, because for the memory boost option cards specifically, you would want to open 2 of these boxes because it will give you a playset of those memory boost option cards. So I'd say, yeah, get 2 of them, get them out of the way, easy to find, so you don't really have to necessarily hunt for the singles. And I guess, like, if you're someone, like, who's somewhat newer to the game, I think, like, a lot of these cards can help you quite a bit as well. Again, I'm not too sure about the Zuba and the Ludomons here, but here we pretty much covered everything, except for some of the altars I really want to look and check out and talk about once we pull these. But here is Rapamon X Antibody, which is a secret rare. I'm really glad that they choose to print, like, secret rares in these sets. I think there should be more of them to make them even more desirable. But this is still a decent reprint, although Rapid X isn't really played as much, but I feel like it's always a fan favorite archetype. It's a really, really strong base deck at the end of the day. And BT16 reprints are always appreciated, I think, just because BT16 has a lot of really nice cards. And speaking of that, I think Pyodramon should be in here too. You know, been really, really cool. But yeah, I definitely have a lot of suggestions on what cards I feel like could be in these sets. But yeah, LM sets are always just like nice little small sets to pull. And then Buzamon Blast Mode Ace, which we pulled earlier. I think there's one more Altart that we haven't really seen yet. So let's keep cracking these open and see if we might be able to pull or talk about any of them. But I feel like yeah, most of these cards, again, like I feel like I covered everything already. I covered this entire set. So yeah, that's basically it for the LM06 Billion Bullet set opening. The Twilight Angels playmat and dice is now live on the AVAULT store. Make sure to grab them along together with the collection so you get additional memory markers all together. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have a great day, great night, whenever you are. See you in the next video, and this is AVAULT signing